In this video, a juicy new leak spills details on Tesla's Masterplan Part 3. This should surprise literally no one who's been paying attention to the hints both Elon and Tesla have been dropping in recent months and quarters, but it is very big news. We'll look at the details, get a behind the scenes insight into Tesla's negotiation tactics, discuss the implications for Tesla and their so-called competition, and plenty more. And before we get into it, if you want to instantly unlock over 100 exclusive videos, plus my 10-year Tesla stock price targets and loads of other perks, including optional access to my Tesla valuation model, join our growing community of thousands of supporters on Patreon with the link in the pinned comment. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment-themed merch in the merch store. In a truly stunning turn of events that literally no one could have seen coming, especially those who haven't been paying attention to Elon Musk's non-stop hints over the last few months and quarters, per Doomberg, quote, Tesla evaluating lithium refinery in Texas, seeks tax breaks. Electric car maker is also considering a site in Louisiana. Musk has called lithium refining a, quote, license to print money. The article continues, Tesla is plotting a potential lithium refinery on the Gulf Coast of Texas. The electric car maker, and soon to be lithium refiner, has told the state it is considering constructing a, quote, battery-grade lithium hydroxide refining facility, which it has pitched as the first of its kind in North America, according to a newly public application for tax breaks filed with the Texas Comptroller's Office. This is the wonderful thing about these kind of projects. Even if Tesla doesn't want the world to know they're planning or considering doing this, they needed to file this application, and now they've leaked their plans to the world. Mark my fucking words. Whether in Texas, Louisiana, or somewhere else, Tesla will be getting into the refining business. Lithium first, who knows what else is to come. More details about this will no doubt appear in Tesla's Masterplan Part 3, in which Elon will be laying out Tesla's strategy for scaling up production to truly absurd levels, those necessary to transition the world to sustainable energy generation, storage, and supply. Wherever the limiting factor, if no one else is going to solve that and blow open the bottleneck, or they'll move too slow, Tesla's going to get their hands dirty. They may not want to get into the business of mining and or refining lithium, but Tesla will continue to do whatever it takes. They control their own destiny and they dictate the pace at which they move toward their goals. If built, Tesla has told the state the facility would process, quote, raw ore material into a usable state for battery production, and that the resulting lithium hydroxide it creates would be, quote, packaged and shipped by trucks and rail to various Tesla battery manufacturing sites, supporting the necessary supply chain for large-scale and electric vehicle batteries. Now, this is interesting. I wonder when we'll learn about the next of Tesla's various battery manufacturing sites. Tesla also said the process it will use is, quote, innovative and designed to consume less hazardous reagents and create usable byproducts compared to the conventional process. In other words, doing things better and smarter. Surprise, surprise. Construction could begin as soon as the fourth quarter of 2022. In case you're a little bit lost, where are we today? Weeks away from the fourth quarter of 2022. Tesla has told the state that the facility could be located, quote, anywhere with access to the Gulf Coast shipping channel, but the company is evaluating a competing site in Louisiana. Unsurprisingly, Tesla didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. This is a great table. Buried treasure. Forecast for 2025 output and refining capacity in metric tons. Oh, that's just metric tons. My bad. Australia here, far and away the most lithium mining output in 2025 according to these forecasts. About double as much as number 2, Chile. Argentina also scraping by, and the US at this point in time in terms of lithium mining, basically nothing. In terms of refinement, notice Australia refining about 2/3 as much lithium as mined, Chile refining about twice as much lithium as is mined there, and the big one, China refining about 7 times as much lithium as they're mining. This needs to change. This will change. At this point in time, the US barely registers. Forecast 2025 output, lithium mining, 5,000 tons. Lithium refining, just over 40,000 tons. Expect some major revisions to these forecasts but when Tesla begins refining lithium in the United States. The techno king of Tesla, sometimes mistakenly referred to as Tesla's chief executive officer, Elon Musk, has spent much of the last year agitating for rapid development in lithium mining in North America, comparing the opportunity to the fat margins typically made in the software industry. You might notice a recurring theme. In the past, Elon Musk really banging the drum, hey guys, hello, do this please, we need this please do this. And eventually gets to a point, it's like, you know, f*** it, we'll just do it ourselves, god damn it. We're just gonna have to print insane amounts of money because no one else wanted to do it. Tried to warn you, but well, here we go again. Quote, I'd like to once again urge entrepreneurs to enter the lithium refining business. The mining is relatively easy. The refining is much harder. Musk said on Tesla's second quarter earnings call in July, quote, "You can't lose. It's a license to print money." Looks like Tesla's about to obtain another money printing license. Dozens of projects are underway to add similar plants in other nations, including developments in Germany and Australia, which began production at a first refinery earlier this year. The world's top lithium producer is planning to build a new processing site in the southeastern United States. China currently dominates lithium refining, as we saw earlier, and has more than half of global capacity to process raw materials harvested at mines or from salt-rich underground brines into the specialist chemicals used in EV batteries. A lithium mining facility would be just the latest addition to Musk's growing Texas empire. Very true. Beyond the new automotive factory in Austin that started production this year, Musk has also built out a massive rocket prototyping and launch facility in Boca Chica, Texas. His tunneling outfit, the Boring Company, is also pursuing numerous projects across the state. Tesla has previously applied for permits to make similar battery materials adjacent to its Austin factory, though the current status of the project is unclear. Let's take a detailed look at the description of this project. Quote, "Tesla Inc. is evaluating the possible development of a battery-grade lithium hydroxide refining facility, the first of its kind in North America." Fancy that, Tesla doing something before everyone else. Once again, Tesla is the leading indicator of what most other companies attempting to produce EVs at scale, and potentially battery storage at scale as well, will also need to do. Either they get into the lithium refining business as well, or in the future they become one of Tesla's customers. As well as facilities to support other types of battery materials processing, refining, and manufacturing, and ancillary manufacturing operations in support of Tesla's sustainable product line. In other words, this is a serious fucking project, and it's not just lithium refining. Tesla will process raw ore material into a usable state for battery production. Interesting, by the way. As I just mentioned, some companies may in the future become customers of Tesla. Think about this. Tesla will process raw ore material into a usable state for battery production. Over the longer term, is it possible that this won't just be for Tesla's own batteries? I think so. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to be supplying anything to anyone else if they're not meeting their own needs. But if we look over the longer term, there's definitely a scenario in which Tesla actually ultimately becomes a company supplying these materials, these refined materials, to other companies producing their own batteries and or electric vehicles and or battery storage. The process Tesla will use is innovative. Imagine that. And designed to consume less hazardous reagents and create usable byproducts compared to the conventional process. In other words, Tesla doing something different and better. Surprise to fucking prize. The final product, battery-grade lithium hydroxide, will be packaged and shipped by truck and rail to various Tesla battery manufacturing sites, supporting the necessary supply chain for large-scale and electric vehicle batteries. Again, words matter. This is important. For those who missed the nuance here, can't read between the lines, we are talking about megapacks, grid-scale batteries. And I don't want to read into the tea leaves too much here, but it's definitely possible in the future. We may see a new iteration of megapack. I don't know, maybe even a gigapack or a terapack. Time will tell. Proposed improvements would include supporting infrastructure and lithium refining equipment, operation buildings, laboratory for R&D, and quality controls, and loads of other shit as well. In other words, as I said, this is a huge potential project. I'm sure Texas, I'm sure Louisiana, I'm sure every state in the United States is desperately going to be throwing money and incentives at Tesla to try and get them to do this project in their state. If this site is chosen, notice Tesla already the terminology, they're already in a negotiation process here. If this site is chosen, early construction could begin in the fourth quarter of 2022, weeks from now. The project will reach commercial operations by the fourth quarter of 2024, which is basically tomorrow in the scheme of things. Tesla really wanting to move fast. Again, with the negotiation. Quote, Tesla is still evaluating the feasibility of this project. Only very preliminary development activities have begun. No engineering, procurement, or construction contracts specific to the proposed location have been negotiated or signed. In other words, it's still up in the air. No regulatory permit applications have been obtained. No public announcements RIP, of a definitive intent to construct a project have been made. Only agreements pertaining to preliminary design and engineering work and the development of other technical studies and estimates have been entered into, which is necessary for purposes of determining whether the project is technically viable and can be cost competitive in the global marketplace. This is an important consideration. There is a reason that today China is currently doing over 1 million tons of lithium refinement. At this point in time, there aren't really many projects around the world that can compete with the cost of China, hence most lithium is ending up being refined in China. This project could be located anywhere with access to the Gulf Coast shipping channel. More negotiation tactics, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Tesla is open to other sites, but mentioning this repeatedly, could go anywhere here, not just in your state, so give us some incentives. I love to see it. Currently, the applicant is evaluating a competing site in Louisiana as an alternative for the investment associated with this project. In summary, the ultimate determination to deploy capital to an investment pursuit. Again, this is negotiation tactics. Tesla's talking to Texas going, hey guys, you want a shit ton of investment, a shit ton of money, a shit ton of jobs? It really comes down to pure economics. So make it worth our while, or we're going somewhere else. In the case of the investment on this proposed project in Texas, the decision will be based on a number of commercial and financial considerations, including the ability to obtain relief regarding local property taxes. Obtaining the Chapter 313 value limitation is a necessary part of the economic analysis and a determining factor for investment in Texas. In other words, Texas, help us out. Otherwise, no project for you. The domestic and global industrial gas market is very competitive. Without the Chapter 313 value limitation, siting this project in Texas is less attractive. In the current capital-constrained environment, the economics of each project are challenged against each other, and only the best will have a chance to happen. Although unsurprising, at least if you've been paying attention, this really is big news. Industry does not move as fast as Tesla knows they need to. Anytime there's a bottleneck, step number one is Elon Musk banging the drum. Hey guys, please, there's a problem here. Do more of this. Make more of this. Innovate more here. Please, we're begging you. Please. Next minute, not enough action. Things aren't moving fast enough. All right, it. We'll just have to do it ourselves. Tesla is a vertical integration machine, not necessarily because they want to be, but because they need to be. They don't want others to be dictating how quickly they can scale and reach their long-term goals. This project could be up and running as soon as 2024. And Tesla isn't going to stop there. As they can continue to scale up their own lithium refinement, there may come a point in the future where Tesla has surplus lithium. Next minute, they're supplying this to other companies. And don't get me wrong, I don't expect this will happen anytime soon. But just imagine, Tesla's big brain engineers applying their big brains to solving another very complicated problem. Elon has pointed out there is a lot of innovation that needs to happen in terms of lithium refinement. Mining, not so much, but refinement, big time. And Tesla has a track record. Every time they apply their big brains to solving a problem, to improving things, they go from no experience, no idea what they're doing, to world class within a span of just a few years. Now remember, the world is transitioning to sustainable energy generation, storage, keyword there, storage, and supply. The world, the whole fucking thing. The entire global economy in the future will be sustainably powered. And you know why we call them lithium-ion batteries? Because there's lithium in all of them. You can put two and two together here. Tesla's moving all the way down the supply chain to the raw materials themselves. The most fundamental, of course, being lithium. What are the odds that Tesla drives so much innovation, reduces the costs so much, increases output and productivity in terms of lithium refinement, that they'll be industry leading in this as well? And if this is the case, not only will Tesla have a staggering cost advantage, not like they don't already have dozens of staggering cost advantages in everything from manufacturing to, I could keep going on, you guys get the point. If this is the case, I think over the longer term, and we're talking 10, 20 plus year time period, it's extremely likely, at least in my opinion, that Tesla's lithium refining business won't just be limited to their own needs. Much like I believe over the longer term, it's very likely Tesla will be licensing their autonomous software to other companies. We'll see them supplying refined lithium to other companies, maybe even battery cells. But again, they won't do this until they've met and exceeded their own needs, which will be a very long time. The lesson in today's video is pretty simple. Tesla has grand plans, and that is a massive understatement. And whatever the limiting factor, whatever the bottleneck, whatever the slowest moving component in the supply chain in meeting their goals, if no one else is working on this problem, if the world is moving too slow, Tesla will roll up their sleeves, get their hands dirty, and do whatever they need to accelerate their plans. And once again, the final point to understand, Tesla is a leading indicator of what every other company attempting to do what Tesla is doing, EVs, battery storage, solar, and so on. Tesla is a leading indicator of what every other company should be doing. This includes their approach to autonomous software. We need LiDAR and radar. No, you don't, you dickheads, but you're just not far enough along. You haven't figured that one out yet. Pure vision is the approach. I don't know how long it's going to take until these companies who are hoping to solve autonomy realize pre-mapping in HD, LiDAR, it's not a scalable solution. It's not a generalized solution. It's never going to be competing with Tesla's solution. In the short term, it'll look like it's ahead, but over the longer term, it's not a winning strategy. The same is true of manufacturing. Most automotive manufacturers today think the play is to have 600,000 different vehicle models. It's not. Just create one category killer per category. They haven't figured that out yet either. Nor have most legacy automotive manufacturers realized that software is a critical component to electric vehicles. I guess what I'm trying to say is whatever Tesla is doing or about to start doing, everyone else should also be doing or about to start doing. And if they're not, it's either because A, they're not too bright, or B, they haven't actually got far enough along to realize what they need to be doing. When you hear Government Motors announcing their plans to get into the lithium refining business, just remember, we heard of Tesla's plans back in Q3 of 2022, something to consider. But remember, the competition is coming. And just one final but very important point, Tesla's going to do what they need to do, irrespective of whether or not there's incentives, tax breaks, and so on. The US has finally realized, oh shit, This whole transition thing is actually happening. There's a little bit of an issue here with China doing most of the world's lithium refining, and I'm not just talking about lithium refining, battery production, cells, and so on. There are going to be many tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars of incentives available to companies doing things like refining lithium locally in the United States, manufacturing battery cells locally, cathodes. I could keep going on and on. You guys get the point, right? It just so happens that while Tesla's doing whatever they need to do, the US government's going to be throwing money at them. Of course, this is going to cause many people to get severely butthurt. Oh my god, this company makes so much money, how dare you? Don't hate the player, hate the game. I want to be clear. Tesla isn't considering doing this stuff simply to benefit from incentives. However, they will, to the tune of many billions of dollars. And to be clear, this is entirely separate from the point I made earlier about negotiating with individual states for the site location. I'm talking about national incentives. Talk about a license to print money. Hope you guys and girls have enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit nerdy, but it's so important. It really is big news. Confirmation of what we all saw coming. And don't forget, if you'd like to support the channel, you can join Patreon with the card in the corner or the link at the pinned comment. You'll instantly gain access to well over 100 exclusive videos and up-to-date access to my Tesla stock price targets, plus optional access to my Tesla valuation model. So, see you over on Patreon. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel and instantly unlock over 100 exclusive videos, plus my 10-year Tesla stock price targets and loads of other perks, including optional access to my Tesla valuation model, join our growing community of thousands of supporters on Patreon with the link in the pinned comment. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. Please let me know your thoughts on today's video in the comments below and click the card on screen now to watch the next video.